Good afternoon, friends. Myself, Sainath Lambade, and today we are going to discuss about the midbrain. As we have discussed in the last lecture about the Diencephalon, we have discussed about the Diencephalon, and now we are going to discuss about the midbrain. Midbrain. This midbrain is having the another name that is called as a mesencephalon. Midbrain is having the another name that is called as a mesencephalon. First of all, while studying the midbrain, we will see the location of the midbrain. It is located between Diencephalon and pons varoli. If anybody asks you the location, where is the location of midbrain? Midbrain is located between the Diencephalon and pons varoli, or you may say that is a sandwich between the Diencephalon and pons varoli. Followed by these, it contains cerebral aqueduct or ether. It is also having containing the cerebral aqueduct, or it is another name for the cerebral aqueduct, that is ether, that connects the third and fourth ventricles. As you know that we have seen in the diencephalon is the third ventricle. Ventricles means cavity. First two cavity we have discussed in the cerebrum. Cerebrum has the two cavities. They are called as a lateral cavity, and followed by the cerebral cavities. There is a third cavity that is known as a diencephalon, that is called as a diocele, and diocele is connected to the fourth ventricle. This fourth ventricle is known as a metacele that lies in the medulla oblongata. This third and fourth are joined with the help of a tube. That tube is called as a cerebral aqueduct. That tube is called as a cerebral aqueduct or ether. So midbrain is also known as a mesencephalon. Already you know that it has been divided into two parts. We will say that it has been divided into two parts, means midbrains, which is a seen part from the forward region, that is actually called as the anterior region. Midbrain anterior region and midbrain's posterior region, backside of the midbrain. So this anterior region consists of Kura Cerebri or cerebral peduncle. This anterior region of the midbrain is having the presence of cerebral peduncle, or the cerebral peduncle is also known as a Kura Cerebri. And followed by these, we have discussed about the posterior region, that is called as a corpora quadrigemina. Corpora means bodies, quadri means four, and gemina means rounded. These four bodies are seen at the posterior region. We'll see in the detailed diagram in the next only. Now just followed by this crura cerebri, we'll see the posterior region. So first of all, we'll see the A part, that is the crura cerebri or cerebral peduncle. The midbrain also contains its inferior or anterior surface two thick fibers that called as a cerebral peduncle, or that is known as a crura cerebri. Then followed by this tract of ascending and descending nerve fibers from the RAS means we have just discussed in the diencephalon. In this diencephalon, the thalamus part is having the presence of a RAS. RAS is a reticular activating system. RAS means reticular activating system, and connect the cerebrum and midbrain. Near the center of midbrain is a mass of gray matter near the center in the center of the midbrain. There is having the mass of gray matter scattered within the white matter. This mass of gray matter has been scattered into the white matter of this midbrain called as a red nucleus. I will draw here a one diagram for you, and you will just know this like a box type. This is a box type, that is a midbrain, and actually in the center there lies a gray matter. Means you know this gray matter, and this gray matter is means having the presence of neurons body, presence of neuron body, and this neuron body presence shows us the gray matter. So this is called as a scattered of mass gray matter in the white matter, that is called as a red nucleus, that is known as a red nucleus. And this red nucleus plays an important role in controlling the posture of the body and muscle tone. Whatever the body's muscle that gets toned with the help of this red nucleus, and also controlling the posture of the body, and also help in modifying some motor activities and motor coordination. Also help in the this cerebral peduncle, or sorry, this red nucleus helps in the modifying the some motor activities and motor coordination. So followed by this we'll see the now corpora quadrigemina. This is a posterior region of the midbrain. This is corpora quadrigemina. Corpora means bodies, quadri means four, coliculi, and geminas means rounded. As you will know that the location of the corpora quadrigemina, if anybody asks you where it lies, actually it lies in the posterior, but located on the tectum region. The region, that location on the posterior region is known as a tectum of the dorsal aspect of the midbrain. This corpora quadrigemina is formed of two things. It has been a form of two things, that is a superior coliculi and inferior coliculi. That has been having a two types, that is a superior coliculi and inferior coliculi. This superior coliculi means the uppermost part, that rounded bodies has been present in the upper part, that is called as the superior coliculi, and which are present downward or inferior, that is called as the inferior coliculi. This superior coliculi is related with visual reflex, that is related with your visual reflex and trace the movement of an object. As you read something, as the words ends, you move your head like this. So this trace of movement of an object, or you can move your body also. If you someone is coming on your body, you will shift your body to the side. That is because of the visual reflex, and this visual reflex is controlled by this corpora quadrigemina. In that corpora quadrigemina, superior coliculi controls this, and inferior coliculi, that is related to the auditory reflex, that is related to the auditory reflex and movement of a head to hear the sound distinctly. When the sound is so low, we will shift our head towards that sound to listen that sound distinctly, means clearly. And as you see this diagram of this, I have drawn the diagram of the this midbrain. See this, that is something up and down from the anterior region, this anterior part, and this is the posterior region of the, you are seeing this four ball like structure, this four bodies, mass of bodies. This first topmost uppermost part, that is called as a superior coliculi, and this lower are called as a inferior coliculi. As you know that superior is related with the visual reflex and inferior is related with the auditory reflex. So this is called as a posterior region, and this is known as a anterior region. As you see this part is coming little bit sideway, that is coming to the side part, that is known as a cerebral peduncle. And this cerebral peduncle are having the thick bands of ascending and descending tracts are passing from this cerebral, this is cerebral peduncle. So this is called as a cerebral peduncle. So here you are seeing some part dark substance is present at this way. This dark substance is called as lying here some dark bodies, and these dark bodies are known as a substantia nigra. That is called as a substantia nigra, and you are seeing this tube passing from inside. You are seeing not transparent, but I have drawn for you that tube is passing, that is called as a cerebral aqueduct or ether that joined the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle. So this substantia nigra secrete the hormone called as a dopamine, and this dopamine and after, if this dopamine is not secreted, what happens? This secreted the dopamine, and if the dopamine is not secreted, the person may suffer from the disease known as a Parkinson's disease. That is called as a Parkinson disease. You may see in the old age people, they are having the some kind of a habit to move the hand suddenly, all the time they are moving their hand or moving their head like that only. That is because of the Parkinson's disease. That is called due to the less secretion of dopamine, and this dopamine is secreted by the substantia nigra part that is actually present at the roof level of this midbrain. That is present at the roof level of the midbrain. Thank you for this lecture. Okay.